Well, they limited our attempts. We usually attempt, 30, 35. We attempted a little over 20 today. But our best 3-point offense was in transition. It got us going in transition, and so that was really our best 3-point offense. But Paul's a weapon, and Paul can really get going. And missed that first one, and he hit his next four, I believe. Missed the last two, so he got relatively quality looks for how they were playing. It made a great back cut on the first play for a layup on the top lock. So he's learning how to play through that and settle in and make sure that the game comes to him.
Okay. Lucas Harrison, 3304 Sports. You guys got out rebounded by 5, 35-30. They had 12 offensive rebounds. You had 5. What were they doing that made it hard to get offense? To get boards on the defensive side of the glass and on the offensive side of the glass.
I mean, the Wall's a world-class athlete, so, look, we haven't been a very good offensive rebounding team all year, so we don't ever get any offensive rebounds. So that's not really that different, for us. Look, they missed a lot of close-in shots, and they were able to dig some of those out because Lawal's just a phenomenal athlete, and certainly Hansberry is extremely, extremely physical, so those guys did a good job, in the restricted arc against us.
Will, in your time coaching in Palace, Copeland's leadership skills grown. Do you think that's a natural thing for him, or is it something he's worked on?
Well, he's a natural leader. You just got to make sure it's channeled the right way. So he's certainly a natural leader. People are drawn to him because he's got a good, the one, I've said this before, the best thing he does is he gives other people confidence. All that talking and all that stuff, he gives the rest of your team a lot of confidence, a lot of juice. And so he gets other guys confident. But I think it's more about harnessing it and moving it in the right direction, which is what he's been better at, this past year.
What did you like about your defense on Hammond today? I believe you held him without a basket.
Yeah, I thought the pressure bothered him. Trey did a great job. Trey's been phenomenal for us defensively the last couple games. We wanted to make 17 initiate the offense because Hammond kind of usually initiates a lot of the offense. So we were face guarding him in the full court, trying to make it difficult for him to get the ball. And Trey did that. I mean, Trey played great, played 36, 37 minutes and hound Hammond up and down the court. So I think by the time he got the ball, he was a little bit tired, a little bit fatigued, took some tough kind of mid-range shots, fadeaway shots, settled for some threes. And so he's a tremendous player. Makes over 50% of his off-the-bounce tough shots. And so we were able to limit him today. And I thought, trying to throw their offensive rhythm off a little bit was helpful with that.
The fact that I think they held Williams to just one basket, and yet you still, obviously executed the offense very well. What was that due to?
Yeah, we just couldn't get Darian going. He missed some threes early in the game. He missed some open threes, and then we went back to him in the porch and tried to get him in some long post situations, and just struggled today. They did a great job. They had Lowell's a great athlete. You put athleticism on him. It's sometimes a little bit tougher, but we know he'll bounce back. And Virginia Tech had a great game plan. They're very, very well coached, and they were going to do what they need to do to take Darian out of the game.
Coach, you talked about game plans. In the second half, feels like they were able to counteract your runs more. What were they doing differently in the second half compared to the first half?
I think he did a great job using his timeouts. He did that in the first and the second half, and we could never get a critical stop when we needed to. When it got down to 3, we got the barrage of stops there, and we hit the 3, and then we got going there. But look, they're a good team. They've been on a week off. They were rested. This was a big game for them. It was a big game for us. They played with desperation. They played how you would want to play in the situation that they're in, and our guys answered those runs and answered those changes in momentum very well. I thought we did a good job staying connected, staying together. And I thought we had a couple little things there where we weren't quite as connected as we needed to be, but for the most part, we did a good job staying connected, and that allowed us to counteract those. But look, they're a very good team. They're gonna make the NCAA tournament. They're a very good team. They're going to find a way to make the NCAA tournament. They got 2 good players. Johnson, I assume, will be back here soon. He gives them another 3-point shooter, cutter, offensive rebounder. Thank God they didn't have him. They may have gotten who knows how many offensive rebounds they got. But I mean, they're a really good team, and they had a lot on the line today, and they played that way. And our guys were good enough to respond and answer.
Well, I saw a social media clip from after the SMU game where you used one of my favorite phrases, good to great. What do you see as a path from good to great for this team?
We just got to be more consistent. We haven't been as consistent as we need to be. But we're getting closer than we were. But it's really about consistency, complete game. We've been very good in spurts. We've been great in spurts. But we need to be great consistently. And so we've talked about that, and I think we're making progress towards that, but we're not there yet.
What was it like to interact with the basketball alumni the last 24 hours?
It was great. We had a bunch of them at practice yesterday, a couple of them at the hotel this morning, and we tell our players all the time, drink from the well, but don't forget who dug it. There's a lot of people that worked really hard to make sure that this program is where it is, and that it's that it's well thought of nationally. And so it was great to reconnect with those guys and spend some time with them. We had some pregame talk this morning, so it's just a good time. We hadn't been able to do it, and I think it's the first time in 5 or 6 years we've been able to pull this off. So it was something that was very important to us, and our staff did a great job doing that, and hope everybody felt welcome. And we're gonna make this an annual tradition where we can bring them back and spend a little time and reconnect with our roots a little bit.
Coach, Thomas Hughes, Virginia Tech on the side. What did you like about your team's front court defense on Mounting Hansberry?
Yeah, I thought, early in the game we were going to double him, which we did. He kicked it out for 2 open threes. We left number 2 open in the corner for 3. And then he kicked it out opposite to, I believe, 0 for the first 3 of the game. And so we kind of called off the double and just tried to play him one-on-one. I think they weren't necessarily prepared for that in the first half, and then second half they just put it down and he just started getting fouled. He's a great player. He's a physical player. But we just, we're going to live with him doing what he does without us giving up rotational threes.
And then you mentioned number 2, Jaden Schutt. He hit a 3 with 11:20 to go to cut it to 3.
Yeah.
What did you like about how your team executed a little bit better after that down the stretch?
Yeah, it was a big 3. It was out of off an offensive rebound. Schutt's an absolute weapon, transfer from Duke. Shoots 50% on transition corner threes. Shooting over 40%. They do a great job getting him looks on baseline, sideline, out of bounds. That was off of a broken play. And so it's really, the time out there is really just about to regroup our guys, calm our guys down, and to get our guys back in rhythm a little bit.
Coach, you got a quick turnaround, sir. You mentioned that you had to do that at McNeese quite a bit.
A little different in the Southland, but yeah.
Yeah, but
it's a lot easier. We showed up. We had way better players than everybody else. That won't be the case Monday.
You played a really good Louisville team, and how concerned are, or I say concerned, but how important is it to be on point with preparation?
Oh shoot, we get embarrassed if we're not on point. So yeah, it's very, very important. We're actually flying out tonight. We're gonna go there tonight, and start our preparation tomorrow. So it's a great opportunity for us. It's a great opportunity for our program. First year. We're on Big Monday. We have one of those time slots with Louisville, so it's a big opportunity for us, and hopefully we'll be able to prepare the right way to meet the moment on Monday.
6 wins straight. What's been the most positive aspect of growth you've seen in this winning streak since that loss to Georgia Tech?
Yeah, I'm still mad about that loss to Georgia Tech.
I was gonna bring it up, but
yeah, I'm still pretty hot about that. But I think we've found different ways to win. We've really, I wish we were more consistent, but I think we found different ways to win. We just got a way about us where we find it. Sometimes Darian playing great and we win. Sometimes he didn't play great like today and we win. Sometimes, Hughes makes mistakes. We've just found different guys. I think Trey's really stepped up. I thought Matt Abel gave us good minutes again in the second half. So we've just been able to find we've done it a lot of different ways, which, I was worried about Virginia Tech's physicality today. We haven't really played well against physical teams. They did in the ball screens coverage against Q. They did what Virginia did. They did what Georgia Tech did. We've been working on that to try to make sure that when that happened again, we wouldn't be in that situation. Our guys did a much better job responding to that coverage today. So I just think we found different ways, which is the mark of a solid team, is being able to do it a lot of different ways.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.
There you go.